I'm here. I made it into my seat with 1 minute to spare. But happy Saturday, everybody. I'm so excited because it's the mama's birthday on the 1st.
But it reminded me when I was walking by and you were on the air down the hall down there.
Yeah.
It reminded me that this is kind of like how a network station works, where you run down the hall from one. Oh, I got to turn the mic off.
Yeah.
We turned it off a minute ago. I didn't mind talking to you. What I said was I was walking by Kat's office. She was on the air down there, and I thought, well, it's kind of like a network studio where you're down the hall in another studio, and then you got to rush down to join another show.
That's right. I just finished my other show a few minutes ago, and I was having fun with everybody because I didn't do a show last night. I missed everybody. So we debuted a lot of things that are coming out with my company, and just had fun and a few minutes with everybody. It was great. But I'm happy to be here. What's going on? How was your week?
Well,
it's been crazy. I know.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you that are following the show, I've been restoring this big MGM camera crane for a very long time, and it always seems to find the back burner. Like we get going on it and then something happens, we don't get to finish it. So we ended up having a great excuse, which I'm not going to announce what it is.
I was about to put my foot on yours and press pretty hard.
Yeah, no, we have an amazing use for it that's coming up, and it's going to be done next week.
Right. And what's amazing is, please, you have to show that picture.
Which one?
The one you took of Buck.
Oh,
it's the most magnificent picture. Honestly, it's amazing because something came up, and so we have to get it ready.
That's what it is now. But go back a few, you'll see a sunset picture.
It's unbelievable.
Here you go. So let's hit
So it had to get ready really fast, which means we sandblasting it, priming it, painting it, because it has a purpose now. And Todd took a picture of Buck. Is that with the compressor he was doing that?
Yeah, I mean he's holding a sandblasting gun. You might as well call it.
But what a gorgeous shot!
And
that
in
is.
the green tub in the foreground is mine, actually, from restoring things over the years. But I didn't have a compressor big enough to handle this, so we rented a compressor hooked up to our sandblast machine, and had it sandblasted in one day. You could show that other shot if you want. You want to show? You had
what do you have?
Well, he brought up another picture that was kind of interesting.
I love this picture. It is just so National Geographic.
So there's what it looks like today, and it's about to get painted today. So this is. Well, I guess the easiest thing to say is, for those of you who haven't been following, there was a series of videos where I went and got this crane with Buck and brought it back, and the adventure of getting it home.
And how many years you were trying to get this crane?
So for 30 years.
You were trying to acquire it for 30 years.
Yeah, so Roy Wagner brought it to my attention like 30 years ago. And the guy that had it lived in Texas, and he was just impossible to deal with over the years. And we tried everything, made all kinds of offers.
Well, see, he loves his stuff like you love your stuff.
Right. Well, I wasn't mad. I just kept saying to him, look, are you going to fix it up? Yeah, sure. So like 10 years go by. Well, are you going to fix it up? Yeah, we're going to get to that in a minute. 20 years later. Yeah, I'm starting tomorrow. 30 years later, he dies. So I was able to acquire it through his wife. And it was a great day because, we saved it. I mean, this is the last RO crane in existence. And, my mother rode on this crane for 2 weeks with love in 49, I think it was. Oh, here he's got it. Oh yeah. Wonderful. So Seth's on top of it here. There is my mom sitting on that very crane doing 2 weeks with love. This is somewhere in the 1950 range, 49, 50 range. That exact crane we have.
What on earth was she wearing in that? They look like Catholic schoolgirl.
Well, they're not your
panties.
Hey, when you're a dancer, you get all kinds of slack.
No, those are more than Daisy Dukes. Those are. I mean, what on earth? And she's sitting on a crane in those. That's so funny.
But knowing my mom, she knew the history of that crane. This crane was developed in the early 30s. Was kind of Fred Astaire was instrumental on sort of making it happen. He wanted a camera crane where the camera could get almost to the floor and who could move at the same speed they do.
Yes.
So the choreography could then be arranged to work with the crane. So you have a guy who steers the crane, a guy that's driving the crane with power, meaning like the throttle, and then another guy that's swinging the arm around. So it's three people, not including the cameraman, all the regular players. So but if you watch some of these camera moves and Singing in the Rain, and all of these movies at MGM musicals, especially, you'll see this camera at work. This crane worked on every major film you could think of, musical wise, for sure. But even The Wizard of Oz has a lot of these moving sequences. You can kind of tell which ones are with the crane and which ones are not. And speaking of Singing in the Rain, well, anyway, I want to give everybody a reminder.
Yes, I'm trying to get us.
Check this out. So I was able. We got
so
the final.
Beautiful. They're beautiful.
Let me go to my close up here. We're doing everything on our own today. I can't find the close up. There it is. So I'm doing. There's the singing. There was the Singing in the Rain brooch, and it is spectacular. And on the back, it's now done with. It says Debbie Reynolds Singing in the Rain on the back. So this is a stunning piece.
I am absolutely.
They are fantastic.
With the way it came out.
But I got the first 5 back from the jewelers, and it is just stunning. So I don't know, not everybody. I had a lot of people ask me about this, and we only were going to make initially.
Is that the holder with the light?
Yeah, it's just I ran the battery down. It still lights up, but it's kind of dim. I got to change the battery. It comes with the case with the light and the whole thing. But this finally got our first 5 in, and it went past my expectations.
Me too.
Yeah. So
when I saw that, I was just blown away.
So it's Debbie's coins, sterling silver dollars that she had for many decades, melted down to make the mold, to make the frame, platinum plated, and then lab diamonds go into the frame. And when I put it up against the original one from the movie, it's like the movie one is like junk.
Well, lab grown diamonds are so spectacular, because I remember when like really good cubic zirconia came out, and QVC sold everything, with this. Your mom and I used to sit there and go, look at that. You cannot tell the difference, but lab grown diamonds are even way beyond.
Well, because they are, as I have been lectured at my jeweler.
Yeah.
They are diamonds.
Yes.
They're not, unlike all the other things, they are actually a man-made diamond.
Yeah.
But they are a diamond. If you put the little tester on them, the only way you could tell between this and a real diamond is if you're a jeweler these days. I feel bad for the people at De Beers, not really, but over the decades, the blood diamonds and everybody fighting and killing over diamonds, because now it's devalued them substantially. But they are as beautiful as they are. Now, the thing is, my mother would have loved that. And we were going to show you a picture here.
Oh,
that's really cool. Yes. So here's my mom with the brooch on in that sequence with Gene Kelly. Now it's in multiple sequences. The "You Were Meant for Me" dance number, "Beautiful Girl" dance number leads into this next number with my mother and Gene, in sort of a "Where have you been all my life" kind of a moment. And then they go on to do "You Were Meant for Me" on the stage. So a total of like 3 major scenes it's in. And, I thought, oh, that was such a clever, beautiful thing. Get me that other picture, Seth, when you're done looking at yourself. And I got him. No, do you remember we had the one that wasn't of my mom? So anyway, I was thinking to myself, what a cool idea that the costumer had, when they put that brooch on her shoulder to hold that chiffon. Right. And then I was watching a Claudia Colbert movie the other night, and lo and behold.
Yeah, it was a big thing then. It was a.
And I found another one. Did you find the third one too? Okay, so we actually found another one. So I'm starting to realize in the 30s, this is a thing. And Singing in the Rain is allegedly from the 30s. I don't know if you know that, but the movie takes place in the 30s.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, think about it. It's a
because
movie.
They had silent.
Right. So they're coming into the talkies time. So that's allegedly. So it's really a period piece in many ways. Now check this one out. This one is stunning. And everybody tell me who that is.
That is that, wait a minute. I want
Let
to
the
be alone?
audience, let the audience answer.
Okay.
So again, the really cool corner brooch. But yeah, there you go. Now you can tell for sure.
I can't. 'Cause
Died in a plane crash.
Carol
Married to,
Lombard.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful Carol Lombard died at a very young age, tragically, in a plane crash.
Was she in her early 30s
Oh,
when
well,
she died?
this movie is from the 30s. Yeah, she was only like 30 years old.
Yeah.
And according to the books that were written on the subject, Clark Gable said, even at the end of his life, she was my girl.
Look at that. Groovy Nikki got it. She
Groovy.
said she that
See,
she,
in
she
the old
got who it
days, you remember
was.
in the old days, we used to give away a prize for guessing stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was kind of a fun thing to do.
Well, let's see. Jim and Jin got it. Beth M got it. Groovy Nikki got it. Mary O'Connor got it. Maddie got it. A lot of people. Good. K9 Crush. I love that name.
Well, congratulations.
Barb Kevern got it.
Congratulations for knowing who that was, because I have to admit,
I had to see her face on today.
Well, that was what was kind of fun about it, though, right? That you could look at it. I like all these challenges myself, but it's the sort of situation where I started to realize that this brooch is actually a very, in the 30s, was very common for ladies to wear, to hold like a cool little scarf or something. Yeah. And I'm thinking, man, this could come back in style. So maybe I might start
a new
something.
Trend. Yes.
Well, this is an expensive piece, all things considered.
Yeah.
Ryan, I don't even remember. How much was it? How much are we selling it for? See, I caught him off guard. Does anybody know what I'm selling?
$4.99.
$4.99. Okay. And,
I want to see Ryan.
And so it's a serious piece of jewelry. I don't want people to think this is actually what's in the movie, the real one that Debbie wears, is true costume jewelry. I mean, it's
yes. And when people see it that are coming here in May,
oh, you're going to be able to compare.
You're going to compare it because we have that one in the museum in the case,
and it's not anything at all.
No.
Now it used to be. I used to be impressed with it until I made this, and now it's like, wow. But anyway, it's not a cheap thing to have. But if you want a really serious piece of jewelry that has the roots, and we put my mom's name on the back and the movie. It was really funny when I gave it to the jeweler. I said, okay, I want to put my mom's name, and because in the original one there's no name on it, right? And he goes, okay, well, we can figure out how to do that. And then he came back to me with a little rendering of what he was going to do. It said Debbie Reynolds. So he got that. And then he had Singing in the Rain, not Singin.
Oh,
in the Rain.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, no G. And he goes, what do you mean no G? I was like, well, somebody decided, Arthur Freed or Louis B. Mayer, somebody decided we're going to drop the G. And, when you're Louis B. Mayer, if you want to drop the G, you drop the G. Anyway.
Well, listen to this. April DeShields just saw an interview last night of a producer saying Debbie had a TIA on stage once, and he was extremely angry with the guys who docked her pay. She only missed 1.5 shows. Now, what would that? Which yes, here's trivia.
Well, I don't want to be the tell, but I'd seen her drop a few times in my life.
Well, if you don't know what a TIA is, and a lot of people don't,
small stroke.
It's a small stroke, and you could have many of them and not really even know what you're having.
I'm going to say this though. I was told at the very end there that those cumulative effect eventually did lead to the end.
Yeah,
they're connected. I mean, you can have them. The way it was explained to me is your brain stem is like a beautiful, huge oak tree with millions of little branches and sub branches, and they go all over your brain. And it's an amazing invention by God. But when you have a little TIA, one little area out on a little branch, little stems out there, short circuit. And that's what causes that shutdown. I'd seen her have quite a few, not a lot. First time it ever happened to me, we were here in Vegas at the Desert Inn, and this is back when I was working sound.
Mm-hmm.
So I had stopped doing her show. I was probably 14-ish, and I'd stopped doing her being in the show, and I started doing sound. And Gary Wood, who was the entertainment director at the Desert Inn, I just want to drop some names here. Remember Gary? These are the cool people, man. This was the old Vegas guys that used to run these showrooms, and Gary was he was something else. Anyway, he worked for Walter Kane, who was the big guy under Howard Hughes. But he was the one that used to take me up and let me run the board. But he'd be sitting there when I did it. And then at a certain point, my mother said, I want him to run the sound rather than
How
the
old were
curtain
you?
puller. I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
And that's how he said, hey, let him do it. But the union stepped in and said, no, he has to be union. He can't be union until he's 18. That's why mother called John Flaherty, head of the New York Local 1 union, IATSE Local 1 in New York, and said, I want my son to do my sound in Las Vegas. They're saying he can't do it unless he's a member. What do you want to do about it? He goes, well, we'll make him a member. He says, well, he has to be 18. He goes, whatever. So I am to this day the youngest member, I think. I don't know what's happened last year, but back then it was unheard of that a 15-year-old or 14 I was 14-year-old would become a member of the IATSE union. And then I started getting to do her sound. So it was a fun thing. And then they couldn't tell me not to touch anything anymore. It was ridiculous. But I mean, the segue on this though is I was running sound and she was doing the show and she just all of a sudden froze and dropped on the stage. And the light booth was a long way from the stage. And you had to go over and around and things. And I ran back. And when I got down to the stage, she was out backstage and the curtain had closed and she was back there. And then she just kind of woke up and everybody's like, whoa, what was that? And then somebody said, oh, well, she just fainted, but what actually had happened is, she used to redline. In our family, we were very slow to anger, but once we go there, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Once I lose my cool, you're going to hear it. Right? You know my story. I don't lose it, but don't I?
No, it takes a lot to get you there. And I'm the same. I mean, everybody has a wall, at some point, right?
Yeah. Well, so anyway, that's when I learned, about her redlining and how you don't want her to redline. So that, I used to watch her carefully. And if something was going on that was going to cause her to redline, I'd like to pull her out of it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't always catch it, so the red line was dangerous. And that was her first stroke.
Because we're talking about this, I just realized that because you said they thought she fainted. And remember when we were about to do the second auction and she fainted in the bathroom and hit the marble. And
that's what I mean. No one was there, and no one was there.
And no one was there with her
to say that's not what happened.
Yeah, right, because that could have been a TIA. And also here, when she fainted in the middle of the night, right before I got home, and she broke a rib, and that's what took her to the hospital, that night, and they found out a lot of things because of that. But so you know what? They were probably TIAs.
Well, they certainly could. Some percentage could have been, but she was sort of prone. Yeah, it didn't happen that often, but I'd seen it a few times. I'd seen it where I knew it was a TIA. There's other things where I wasn't watching the whole show, but that was, as people know, when she left the earth in a way that was sort of the extreme version of that. It had a brainstem stroke, so that was a version of that. So that was just don't redline.
Right. Well, you know what? I people are so darn angry today, and they live in this in a constant fashion. And here's the thing. I mean, it's just so bad for you. It will kill you. Anger will kill you.
What's the old thing? Take a chill pill.
Yeah, I don't know what, but it's like, life is so short, and why would you want to shorten it? It's not even a fun place to visit, so I don't.
Well, my mother was really good, as you know. She was a peacemaker. She was very good at keeping the peace. She was, pretty good about everybody getting along. She was an orchestrator, the Pied Piper, for lack of a better word, and she really was great at that. But there were people that could push her too far, and then then you're going to get into that. So that's how that went. Anyway, I don't know how we got from diamond brooches to strokes.
We have to go. Well, I think it's all interesting.
No, I know where we're going. Huh? It's my mom's birthday on April 1st.
Yes.
My mother was born on April Fool's Day, which is very appropriate.
Yes.
It gives true meaning to that date and the way the date has been celebrated for, however many hundreds of years. It's April Fool's Day. And the idea that she was born on that day is appropriate because she loved to fool around. I mean, she was the most amazing homegrown comedian. She had an amazing sense of humor. I mean, just that little smile, you'll see some clips and you just watch her personality closely here and you're going to see what I'm talking about. She just had this wonderful sense of humor. We're going to start off We're gonna go way back to This Is Your Life, not the one we showed last time. We're gonna go back to the one when Carrie and I we're that big, and Harry Carl is in it, and my uncles are in it, and I think it's just something. It's a black and white show. It was called This Is Your Life.
I loved this show when I was a kid, and I think they should bring it back. I mean, why wouldn't that show be a hit today? Because it's so interesting.
Oh, I think it works.
To look back on a life that's well lived and see their family and the people that helped them get there. And I just love this show.
Well, she's still remarkably young here, as you're about to see.
Yeah.
We did this again 30 years later, but here we go. I'm going to say it's like 60 at most, I'm guessing. But there we go. Here we go. Off we go.
This is Your Life.
Debbie Reynolds, motion picture star, great humanitarian tonight. This is your life.
Oh, Jerry.
Your star has been rising steadily in the entertainment heavens. Debbie Reynolds, since you played your first small part in a motion picture back in 1949. And today that star is at its very zenith.
Those of us who worked with Debbie when she was starting her career aren't the least bit surprised at her success today.
A good friend today and a good friend when he worked with you back in 1953. A star of motion picture, star of his own television series, Zane Grey Theater, producer, director, president of Four Star Television, Mr. Dick Powell.
Oh, wow.
How are you? Glad to see you. This is a working man. I want to tell you, he just got here.
He's so busy. How'd you have time for this?
Oh, for you anytime,
Oh,
darling.
is that dear?
Ralph, this is one of the most wonderful people in the motion picture business. And I'm so thrilled to stand up here in front of all America and say it.
What about the story of Mary Frances Reynolds of El Paso, Texas?
I'm Bill.
I'm Owen.
I'm Wally. I'm Hugh. And we can tell you some things about her they haven't printed in fan magazines.
The wonderful guys you grew up with, your brother Bill, now a makeup man with Paramount Pictures in Hollywood, and your uncle, Owen Harmon, whom you haven't seen in 5 years from El Paso, Texas, Wally Harmon, you haven't seen for 10 years from Clovis, New Mexico, and your uncle Hugh Harmon, also from El Paso.
By the way,
Younger
their son is still alive, Dean
your
Harmon.
wife.
Wow.
Your three uncles, Owen, Wally, and Hugh, are brothers of Debbie's mother.
Oh.
Is that right?
Right.
Yes. Now, you all grew up together,
Now you
and we're
see
known
it.
as the gang. Now, let's start with your brother Bill here. What kind of a little kid was Debbie, Bill? Bill's over on the edge.
She was a complete tomboy, Ralph.
Who, me?
She used to have to rough up all those boys. I don't think she knew she was a girl until she was about 12.
No.
Hugh over here is a high school teacher, Uncle Hugh, and football coach in El Paso. And you're her youngest uncle, is that right, Hugh?
That's my little uncle.
That's right.
Yeah.
6'3".
And Franny, that's what we all call her. Franny and I had to kind of stick together to protect us from the other two.
Yeah.
Franny, do you happen to remember the time when Bill and Wally made this glider out of an orange crate and took us up on the garage and see if it'd fly?
What happened, Debbie?
We didn't fly. Oh.
He went straight down.
Oh, he went straight down.
It's a good thing you didn't get hurt.
Even when she did get hurt, she wouldn't cry.
No. Well, I didn't dare. You guys would beat me up all the time.
Now, you have a couple of strikes against you when on April Fool's Day you enter the world as a depression, baby.
We weathered the Great Depression, Ralph.
And I don't think it hurt either of our children.
Your mother and dad, Mr. and Mrs.
Oh,
Raymond
wow.
Reynolds of Burbank, California. And look who's here, too.
Hi, sweetie.
Your beloved grandma, Mrs. Maxie Harmon of El Paso.
Surprise.
There's Grandma.
I can't even. They got me a little scared.
Come on, stand by Grandma, Debbie, between
dear.
Mom and Grandma. Debbie was very active in the Girl Scouts, wasn't she, Mrs. Reynolds?
Yes, she
Still
was
am.
very active and
Right.
still is. That's
Yeah.
right. She earned 46 merits badges.
Look at the
which at that
brooch.
time
Yeah.
was quite a record.
47, Mother.
And you're 48.
One
so
was
we'll-
for bird finder, you know.
She was a pretty good organizer, as a little girl, wasn't she, Mr. Reynolds?
Yes, she earned a white Bible for doing work for her church and getting the children for Sunday school.
How did she do that, Ms. Harmon?
Well, she just went out in the neighborhood and told them to go, and they did.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Raymond Reynolds and Grandma Harmon.
I can't believe they got her to talk.
You'll see him later.
She was very quiet.
Season, you're lured to television to do a spectacular. November 25th, 1960 is an important date in your life, too. Now, November 25th, 1960, what's that, Debbie?
No, I know you've got me so shook up.
I know. You know why we went right from Tammy into there? We cut 20 minutes out of your
It's her
life.
marriage.
We're going to be way behind. You
I
married?
found happiness.
You did indeed. When you married Harry Carl. And here he comes now, industrialist and philanthropist, a celebrity in his own right, Harry Carl. And look who's with him, Carrie and Todd.
Oh my gosh.
Watch me.
Harry, I skipped right from Tammy.
Watch me point at myself.
Harry, you met Debbie through your work as, hey, how are they doing down here? Carrie? Hey, Carrie. And Todd, for goodness sakes, isn't it something to surprise Mommy like this?
Well, you know, we were just together at 5:30. I sent them home for their dinner.
Sure, and then they got all scrubbed up and Daddy
We
threw them
were
in the
just
car.
looking at a house. I don't know how they got ready so fast.
There's Mommy.
There's
Yeah.
Mommy in there. And who else is in there? Who's
Harry,
that?
you get down too so we can see the whole family
There's
here.
Toddy.
There's the whole
And
gang.
who was that
Harry,
girl?
you met Debbie through your work as a member of the advisory board of the Thalians, didn't you?
Yes, I did, Ralph. During that first visit, I admired her a great deal for her work, and then the admiration grew into great love, and then, well, here we are.
Right. Depicted on this gold charm bracelet. Would you like to sit down, Debbie, and Mr. Brody and I'll go over there? Come right on, Steve.
Well, isn't it pretty?
There we go. Created and provided for you by Marshall Jewelers of Fifth Avenue, New York. The beautiful charm bracelet, a French horn on there. So that you can relive this night, we have a film of the program along with this Bell & Howell sound motion picture projector and the 16-millimeter electric eye movie camera furnished by the Bell & Howell Company. We've finally come full circle in the Cinderella story of the Texas tomboy who grew into the beautiful, talented, and lovely princess of the silver screen. Your talents have brought you fame and fortune, but your real riches are the love and devotion of thousands of American fighting men, the respect of your fellow Thalians and co-workers, and the thankful prayers of countless parents of mentally disturbed children. This is your life, Debbie Reynolds Carl. Good night. God bless you.
Thank you.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. I mean, the music started. I feel I'm losing it. That was so cool. And I think you should show everybody this last thing that everybody
Well,
saw.
Yeah. So
That's
so
I,
if
I
you
didn't
know,
realize that was the one.
yeah. So oops, we got to go to the close up here.
Yeah.
I'm pushing buttons by myself. So sitting right here is the charm bracelet that they just talked about. Now she added things to it, but this is that charm bracelet we were just talking about.
Oh, that is so great.
And one of them here is This Is Your Life. Is it the book one? I think it's that little book right here. That's the
Yep,
that's
that's
the
it.
This Is Your Life one. And speaking of the little book, now there's lots of little ones here. She's got one in here, you know, for Carrie and I, and there's one for Texas, and then a lot of them are for movies. But this is Carrie and my one, and it's if you could see it, it's Carrie Francis, her birthday, and then Todd Emmanuel. They give them the Fisher aspect. But then over here is the book that they handed her just then. You saw them.
Oh my
Hand her the
gosh.
book.
That's the first time I've ever seen this.
Well, and it's signed by the guy that was there. This is the script for what they were going to do.
That is priceless. I mean, really and truly. John Eric St. James just said something that I was thinking exactly, which is he always wondered what Harry's voice sounded like. And me too. That's the first time I've ever heard his voice, ever. So,
You know, there's something somebody was doing something on the television show or something the other day, and it was like someone was singing, they went Scooby-Doo. It was like a thing people used to do back in the 50s or something,
Yeah.
but that's what Harry used to do. And Carrie and I thought it was very amusing. It's pretty much the only amusing thing that he did other than fart. Although Carrie used to enjoy the slathering balls thing a lot, you know. I mean, there was other
oh
aspects.
my God.
He had a lot of interesting
Today,
traits.
that would be child abuse. You know, when you think about when she talked about that in Bright Lights, I was like, oh my gosh. But he had a very nice voice. I mean, he had a very beautiful speaking voice.
Well, I'm just going to go on the record, which I've done in my book. He was a lovely person.
yeah.
He was very loving to Carrie and I. You could tell. And look, we followed him right out there.
I think
You know,
one of the few times you actually cried in your life was when,
no, it was,
when
you
he
know,
died.
right. Well, it was one of the first times. It was one of the first people that I cared about that had died. I was in my 20s,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a lot of experience at that point. Unfortunately, I do now, but I had never experienced that. But at the same time, I was very concerned for his mortal soul. He and I'd spent a lot of time together in those days, and I was always trying to enlighten him as best as I could, because his path was rather bad at times.
Yeah.
Choices, do have consequences.
Good and bad.
Good and bad.
Yeah.
And I was concerned about his choices and where they might go, but there was sort of a beautiful naivete about him. I remember sitting in a booth at Trader Vic's, and he goes, "Do you think Mother and I'll ever get back together?" And I remember going, "Where have you been? Like, do you have any idea the wake of destruction that you have leveled against all of us?"
Yeah.
And I didn't do it. I just said, yeah, I think that ship has kind of sailed, But the truth is, but I always my mother, when I called her when he died, because I found out first, and she heard me lose it, and she was kind of surprised, but she had no sort of emotion about it. Now, either my mother was obviously very enlightened in many ways, and so in some way, she forgave people like magically. It was, some pretty amazing stuff. So she just kind of went with it. But I know she was never happy with what happened. I mean, clearly.
Well, it's a lot to ask of someone to get past, to be absolutely taken and fleeced by someone who I don't doubt that he loved her. I know that he did. But the thing is that he had a gambling addiction,
and he drank,
and he drank. But here's the thing: like, people always think, oh, alcoholism, drug addiction, there's sex addiction, and gambling addiction, which are far even worse because of the way it takes down so many lives. Like, gambling he did it himself and your mother, so it's really, and people think, oh, what's wrong with being a sex addict, because they don't realize what that really is. What it is that you want to have sex in dangerous situations with inappropriate people, and that's the thrill of it, and so many people get taken down in the process of that. And so the thing is that I don't think that he really meant to do it, but he did do it, and that's a lot to ask someone to get past.
Well, as I've said, Carrie was furious.
Yes.
And the only time I ever saw her break loose from that was when I took her to visit his gravesite many years later. But I had seen the worst of him, because I'll always remember we'd come home from New York, and at this point the divorce is finalizing, and they're in these settlement conferences, and he put on a whole performance wanting Debbie to support him for the rest of his life, as if such magnanimous things he had done in his life should justify her taking care of him. And I watched that show. He did that in front of her and the lawyers, and I was watching, spying through a little hole in the ceiling at Greenway, and
I'm surprised you didn't record it.
I audio recorded it. I don't know where that tape is, but it's here because I have it. Yeah, stay tuned. This one. So I had a little. If you're familiar with the studio microphones, there's a long shotgun microphone that you have so you can do sound like documentary stuff, and that's what I had. And I put it through a little hole in the ceiling, and I recorded the whole thing. And so I was listening to this. I just lost all respect for him. Just such an incredible thing to act like you deserve her to support you after he just left us in the worst possible position. Anyway, yeah, but the difference between him and Eddie, of course, is, Eddie was sort of this young love, and, had that sort of bomb dropped on her. But with Harry, it was deliberate sort of addiction, kind of dark stuff. That's why I was worried about his immortal soul. I mean, where he had been was not good, and even though he couldn't do what he did later on, I had seen it firsthand. Even when Debbie was gone, I saw the whole deal with the manicurist polishing his nails and other things.
Yeah.
And I felt that it was quite, disturbing to be now, being a child, being a child, of my mom, and then, seeing that betrayal going on, that's disturbing.
It is disturbing. It is abuse. It is so many things. But here's what's interesting. most kids that experience that kind of trauma, because it is a trauma, end up having very messed up relationships, and the view of love becomes really, skewed, and it causes its own damage. So the fact that you grew up to be an incredible man, and I'm the lucky recipient of that, but it's like you grew up to be an amazing human and husband and man, and I don't know how, but
Well, I'll tell you how.
Debbie.
Well, my mother was the model,
Yeah.
the role model.
Yeah.
I had bonded with her, so I had a sense of security and things that Carrie didn't quite get, the same sort of securities and things that I chose to get. I think, I was just, it's just what it was, my mother just, it was part of our lexicon, part of our world. There was no way in or out of it. It's just what it was. But then later in life, of course, I have an epiphany, and I decided to follow the teachings of Christ, which my mother always had done.
Yes.
But when your parents are telling you, oh, do this, do that, you're like, it's went out with button shoes, and so so for me, it was, and when I did make that choice, she didn't push me ever. And then when I made that choice, she was like, oh, thought you might arrive here sooner or later.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the, it's like, oh, train full, welcome aboard. Let me show you to your room.
And if I could, I just want to tell everybody that Debbie told me this story, and it was so cute. I don't even know if we ever talked about it, but during the next video, I'm going to have you adjust that light, because I can hardly keep my eyes open. It's so bright.
I can do it while you're telling the story.
So when Debbie
Tell the
told
story
me,
to the
when
camera.
Debbie told me this story, she was saying that when Todd was little and she was in Las Vegas playing Vegas, and he was really young, she taught him how to take a $20 bill and press it into the hand of the maitre d'.
Is that good?
Yes, I think so. And it was so bright, it was hurting my eyes. So I love that story, that she would teach you how to take the $20 bill
absolutely
and press
true.
it into the maitre d's hand. Is
Shall
it true?
Shall we demonstrate?
Do you have $20?
Give me a little piece of paper or something. Well, I'll just fake it.
Okay.
All right, so stand up.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to stand up too
No,
far.
okay.
Okay. So what you do is you have it in your hand like this. And so you make sure you don't drop it. So you kind of cup your hand, and then you make sure that you push it into their hand and scrape it off into their hand. And all the good maitre d's they all knew how to handle it. And what's really funny is I was only like 8, or 7.
Oh, I know. She told me.
Little man with the little jacket. Thank you very much. And they'd all shake your hand out of courtesy, but they never expected there to be, I don't know if it was 20 in those days, whatever. They never expected to be tipped that way.
I never asked you about that, but that made me laugh.
No, it's
just
a
thinking
true
about
story.
it.
True
Yeah.
story. By the way, we never finished one other artifact.
Show the other.
So the last artifact here that goes with that endless clip that we just, oopsie, here we go, close up again. So that's this. So this is like one of those shows with the jewelry there. Oh, it's so close. Here, I'll just hold it up here. Let's go over here with it.
Okay. Boom.
So here is the camera that she filmed all her home movies with. And you saw there, that was one of her giveaways for doing the show was
they
the
said
charm
you're
bracelet.
going to get a Bell and Howell camera. But
And
wait a minute.
I found the box.
I know, this is what's blowing my mind.
Here.
I know that this family doesn't throw away anything.
Well, why would you
but
throw
the
that away?
Box for
Here.
the camera.
Here, let's go.
Oh, who saves the box of the camera today?
It's a good ad for Bell and Howell,
But
right?
you still save boxes.
I do until
I find your iPhone boxes from 16 iPhones.
that's this one little area. I save boxes for most things. Okay, so check this out. So the way this worked was, now just before this was the nearest 16 millimeter camera that you could have. And it's built by the same company. It has the same little leather handle at the top. But this is how you used to have to shoot, with this big, very heavy, big.
That looks like a film camera.
Well, they're both film. These are 16 millimeter cameras, both.
Oh my
But this was
gosh.
revolutionary for a couple of reasons. It's smaller, it's more compact. You didn't have to thread it. It had a magazine that you loaded the film into the back, wound it up, and off you go. But it also had automatic exposure. So it has a lens and an automatic exposure thing, and through the lens. I mean, this was freaking high tech. This was the iPhone of that day. And it's beautiful. Take a
No.
look. Take a look at the condition of this thing.
It's like new, and it got used like crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not new, but yeah.
But it
I mean, you
looks
can
like
see a
it's
few.
new. There's no
It's got a few
scratches.
battle scars, but that was quite the.
But she used it.
And I assume you have some movies that go with this, right? Okay. Well, you guys have probably all seen this, but over the years we've been showing you lots of home movies. And when you see those color home movies and bright lights, those are shot with Kodachrome Kodak film. For those who don't know what that is, Kodak was the biggest photographic company on earth. They blew it. They had all of the digital patents and things come across their desk. They passed on it thinking film would have a life forever. And they were wrong.
Okay, so
So
now would that still work today?
if you, first of all, this actually does work.
Really?
And the catch is you'd have to manually load the magazine. No one makes the film. I have some of the old magazines, but you could get 16 millimeter film and you could load that and it would work to this day. I mean, they're very simple devices. A motion picture camera has been likened to a sewing machine because it has the needle goes down and up at a certain rhythm. And that's what happens. It pulls the film down, it exposes it, pulls the film down, pulls the film, and very fast. So that is why these things are very simple mechanical devices. You can't really damage them.
I don't know if you've seen it, but there is a new camera out and it's shaped like that exactly. And you can take movies, or it's video, of course, but it looks like old film. It looks like the 60s. It can look like the 70s, the 80s, the 50s, whatever you set it to. Have you seen this?
No, but I've heard about that.
It's really
well, I mean,
cute.
In its day, this was the thing.
Yeah, the thing.
I mean, you can't talk in it, but you definitely could do the movie part.
I am such a serial texter that I forget that is actually a phone. I always think when it rings, I'm like,
oh, I know.
"Well,
You don't
someone's
even,
talking."
I even find it hard for you to take my call.
I don't like talking on the phone because I'm talked out by the time night comes.
Okay, we're going to go back a little bit here, like 40 years ago, to Debbie's 50th birthday party. So we have some footage. Now, this would have been shot in videotape, early videotape, so not great quality, but a great party. And I believe my grandmother was 70 during this. I think it's a 50-70 party. And I've shown parts of this over time, but this is kind of fun listening to my mother at her own birthday party talking about her birthday and her life.
A moment here. The reason that the evening happened is because of my mother. This is my mother's. She doesn't mind. She reminded me how I'm 50 and my mother's 70. And the reason the party is happening tonight is that my mother said to me, one night we were talking, and my mother doesn't drink, but I fortunately do. And she said, I've never had a birthday party. Oh. This is my mother's first big birthday party.
That's Ruta Lee. That's Ruta Lee in the background, just over my mom's shoulder. Very famous for Seven Brides and Saving Brothers.
Through the years,
and witness for the prosecution.
Financial moments, ups and downs. And I said, so mother said, well, we can't afford that. I said, we can't afford not to have the party because this is our time. We have my daddy, my special daddy, Mr. Raymond Francis Reynolds. My name is Mary Francis, and I'm named after my daddy. And I hope I'm like my daddy. The only thing I don't want to do that my daddy has done is raise a beard. It's enough already that I'm as stubborn as he is. He's a wonderful, magical father. I've been very, very lucky to have two of the most wonderful parents that anybody could ever have in their whole life. And that's my mama and daddy. That's Maxine Harmon. Then she married my daddy, and then she got Reynolds.
I want to say this. I want to thank Ray Reynolds and Maxine because they begat, as the Bible says, they begat one Debbie. And in begatting Debbie, they gave me not only a friend, the best I've had, but a child. And she made my life very worthwhile, and I just hope one thing that God grants me many years, or some years at least, to spend them for many more happy birthdays, Maxine, with you and Debbie, to see you where I want to see you. Happy birthday. Thank you, Lillian. Thank you so much. Thank you.
In some ways, Rudy might know her better than a lot of us. Rudy, tell us about your first name.
I'm unaccustomed to speaking publicly.
Sing it. Your teacher. Sing it, darling.
My first meeting with the lovely little lady was at Fort Ord, California. I was in the service with Bill, her brother, and this little girl used to come up and entertain the soldiers. And we all loved her, and from that meeting, a friendship came about. And they've been very, very dear to me, her mother and father. I remember once when I was sick, and Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds took me into their home and took care of me for months. Anyway, it's been a great relationship, and we've done some really fun musical things together. And I think perhaps in the future we'll be doing something that'll be really terrific.
I would like, first of all, I think it's wonderful that my daddy is still standing. And that daddy doesn't drink. I mean, this is very hard for my father, who's 78 years old. This man is a very special man. He's so full of shit that it's just wonderful. And he's my daddy has always adored his daughter because I was the only girl. I mean, there were so many boys, but I was the only girl. So this is my daddy, who's the best guy ever. And I don't know where Hazel is. Hazel go to the bathroom? Just a minute. Now, there are friends of my daddy has friends here that are from the railroad, and even the railroad is gone. So we would like to, I'd like Daddy to say a couple of words because he might have to leave in a minute. Now, what do you think, Pops? You want to say something about Mama? You want to say something about your mama? You know, your wife, and you know. This is my dad.
Well, this will be a surprise, but this girl over here chased me for 2 years before You don't stand here and tell me what to say.
I was trying to tell my daddy what to say, and he just said to me, "Don't you tell me what to say."
Yes.
No, you say what you want.
I don't want to say it.
Sing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carrie. Happy birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's a long story. Yeah, I was on a little voyage in her stomach, and just kind of hanging out. I knew her a lot better then. It was a very close relationship, about as close as you can get. Anyway, I have to say that you couldn't have a better mother. You know, I remember the one line that always used to get me was the press used to come over to me and they'd say, "So how is it to have a mother like Debbie Reynolds? I mean, it's got to be something fantastic." I said, "Well, I don't know. She's just a good mother. Did you have a good mother? You know?" And that's all it is. She's a very good mother. I love her very much. And I also love my grandparents a lot, too. My grandmother is wild.
Yeah, that's right.
She comes up. She's possibly the master of the one-liners. Nobody today has beaten her. I have to say this one thing, because this does work. We're at the dining room table at the Greenway House years and years ago, and this girl had come back from London with me. It's like one of the earlier girlfriends I had. And we're sitting at the table, and the whole family is there. And my mother had a boyfriend at the time. He was sitting there, and the line he says, "Well, Todd doesn't like girls, right? Like joking, right?" And my grandmother says, no, you're right. He likes hookers.
Oh, I remember.
So, a one-liner, you know.
Oh my gosh.
So, with the other crowd. Anyway, I'm glad to be here, and I really love you all.
Thank you, sweetheart.
That must have made that girl feel special.
And Mother paid for the
We were all like this.
So if we don't blow out the friggin' candles, Mother's gonna kill me.
They're on a cardboard.
Because they're on a cardboard bottom, and if you don't blow them out, the whole friggin' place is up in grabs.
I'm
I'm sorry, friggin' is not bad, Mother. The other word is bad. Mother has always said, don't say friggin'. I'm sorry, I apologize.
It's okay. Debbie, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Mother.
Happy birthday, dear Debbie.
Phyllis Cohen on the right.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh. Okay.
Wow.
Well, just a few years ago. It's
How
fun.
old were you there?
Well, at 50, so what was I? I'm in my 20s. Like 24.
24?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right. Because I'm telling the story, actually, that story that I'm telling was from when I was 16.
Oh, so you were.
So wait a minute. So Debbie was born in 32, and I was born in 58. So she was 26. So 24 years old. So I'm telling a story that was, 8 years earlier. But, you brought up a funny point because, we're all sitting at this big table with all the family, and it was some kind of an event, where my mother had everybody bow their heads and hold hands to pray, over the food. And my grandfather did his usual thing, dear Lord, help us jump in. And everybody would laugh. And then people would tell little stories sometimes around the table.
Uh-huh.
And that's when she's, with this, my mom's boyfriend, she's talking about a guy by the name of Bob Fallon. And Bob was a quasi-producer, but he was kind of a ladies' man, real suave and tan and all of these things. And in some ways, it was a great thing for my mother because she had never actually had an orgasm.
Oh my gosh.
So back to
And she'd been married
to the
twice.
the big lover.
That's right.
13 years to Harry Carl, and he didn't bother to
Well,
wait.
and Eddie.
Eddie is like, at least Harry wasn't around bragging what a great lover he was. Eddie is bragging what a great lover he was, and leaves her standing on the shore.
No, you're not.
So I've done that.
Just because you think it doesn't make it so.
Well, I told a story, on the air. There's somewhere you can look at that story. But anyway, the bottom line here is you're watching, listen to me tell that old story. But the girl that was with me had come from England. And everybody's trying to make her feel welcome, except my grandmother. She doesn't like the idea that I'm with this older girl. So the idea that there's 11 years discrepancy between us makes her a hooker. That's how it worked.
Had someone said, and the girl ran screaming from the house.
You know what? She took it. I had a hold of her hand, and I whispered in her. I said, pay no attention to the woman behind the curtain.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it's kind of like,
that's mortifying.
I'd warned her though about my grandmother's tongue. It could be rough, really rough.
Oh,
I got to turn the sound back down. We had turned it up for that clip. Anyway, it's fun to see that. Now you notice all the lines squiggling around.
Yes.
So that was old video, first generation video technology, Satacom tubes. And as soon as they would get in front of something bright and shiny, they would streak like that. But hopefully you're listening, and there's some romantic, amazing stuff going on there. I mean, Rudy Render, the black man that she was talking to at the table, he didn't talk in public ever. He was very shy, very talented man, though. He did that arrangement with her and Bobby Darin.
Yes.
I mean, all that stuff. I mean, the guy was unbelievable. And I was friends with him to the end of his life. He was a beautiful
Well,
person.
you know, it was very startling for me to see Rudy that young because I only met Rudy
Later.
at our wedding.
Oh,
That's the first time I met him. And he was quite old then. And your mom, it was so, now that I see how, I knew they had known each other and been
well,
great
you heard
friends
the way.
and
Did
worked
you hear him
together.
say where they met at Fort Ord?
Yes,
My mom entertaining
but
the
you know,
troops.
until you see them like that in a clip at when they're both, 50-ish, right?
Yeah, he was her age.
I mean, and then when I met him, he was 80.
No, he's older than her. Rudy was
So
probably
he was
5
probably-
years older than her.
Because Debbie at our wedding, I think, was about 80,
No,
79.
late 70s.
Yeah, I think she was 80 actually. Yeah, she was 80, and he was like 85, 87, something like that. Also, for me to see Uncle Bill so
Sharp.
young on and sharp, and how much he actually, now that I've seen footage of your grandfather, Uncle Bill was a lot like
I don't
him.
know. My grandfather looks like an old miner.
Yeah, no, I'm talking
He
about
looks like
personality wise.
He looks like he looks like Walter Houston, in the Treasure of the Sierra Madre. He's got a credible personality. He was very funny. My grandfather. I mean, my mom got her sense of humor for humor from my grandfather. My grandmother did not have a sense of humor.
No,
I mean, she had a different kind of a thing.
I'm kind of glad I missed
You
out.
missed her.
Yeah, I
You would have
never
been.
met your grandmother.
Oh no, you would have
and
been.
I'm okay with that.
There would have been insults.
Yeah.
She just could not help herself.
Yeah.
In fact, give me that book right there, please.
Well-
Well, no, because my grandmother being the matriarch at this point,
Yeah.
she's a big deal. And so, Carrie's third book is Delusions of Grandma. And it's an entire book about my grandmother. And it says, I seem to remember, it says,
I want to read that.
it's a whole book on the absurdity of my grandmother. I was trying to find the thing. Oh, there was a thing here. I don't know. The Chinese curse. The Chinese have a curse. May you live in interesting times. As curses went, Cora felt this was truly the best she had ever heard. Not that she was particularly fond of curses, but in her opinion, this one was eminently applicable, far superior to the genetic go to hell, or the other one, break a leg, or even the medieval pox on your house for many years. Anyway, Carrie does, you see what she's building up there to is all those one-liners. My grandmother had said, a fly is just as likely to land on apple pie as it is on shit.
Yeah.
And it's full of Carrie's sort of impression of everything we were just talking about. We just told one little story. I mean, imagine that, and by the way, this book is longer than any of our other books. It's 260 pages. This, by the way, is a Franklin Mint edition of that book.
Oh, wow.
And I found one or two of these the other day, and I think we're going to have one for sale, aren't we? So, yes, we have it. Oh, so anyway, this is gold leaf and all that.
No, it's
beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah.
So anyway, that book is, it really does. It's almost a tribute in a weird way, to my grandmother. But I mean, it also, of course, points out the harshness and the faults of all of it. But there was also some funny things in there. I mean, I listened to her say something to me my whole life, and I didn't really know what she was saying until I was 24. It's not what you want makes you fat. It's what you get.
I hate that saying. Drives me crazy.
You think you hate it?
Yes.
I never knew what she was talking about. She'd say it fast on purpose. Not what you want makes you fat. It's what you get. Like, in other words, could I have more of the ice cream? Hey, it's not what you want makes you fat. It's what you get. No. I just asked for more of the ice cream. I don't know what does that have to do with it? It's not what you want makes you fat. It's what you get. She'd just do this like to annoy you. You'd be like, what are you talking about?
And I don't know why it is. It's like,
well, I
grating on the
slowed it
nerves.
down finally when I was 24. It's not what you want that makes you fat. It's what you actually get. So I figured that out. But she had a lot of these lines, and Carrie kept track of them, as you can imagine.
My grandmother had some good ones, and I loved every single one of them. One of my favorites is, she used to say this, Kathy, it's hard for a man to stand up when a woman lays down. And I'm like, what?
And what was the other
And I
one
was a
about the
little girl,
legs
and
crossing?
she said, just think about it for a minute.
What was the one about the legs crossing or something? Wasn't there one about that too?
Yes, I can't remember that at the moment, but that one really had an impact on me because what she was saying is, unless it's rape, you have the final say. She was raising me to be a young lady.
Yeah,
you know?
well, if
And
I
she
had
was-
a daughter that looked like you, I'd be worried too.
you.
I
And-
would be very worried. In fact, I am worried. That's why I'm always worried about you.
But I love that. I know you. That's why I let you be on. Track me on my iPhone because I don't think I would have ever let anybody do that. But when you said to me, because it's like, what do you mean you're going to track my iPhone and know where I am at all times? But when you said, because if anything ever happens to you, I want to know where you are so I can come get you.
True.
And when you said it like that, I thought, yeah, that
Well,
makes sense to me.
but
I want you to come
clearly,
get me too.
we're not advocating that you do this with just anybody.
Yeah, no.
So, like, there are people that you could do this with that are
I wouldn't
weird.
want, or an abusive husband or something like that.
Yeah,
But when you explain that to me, I realize that you really do think about my well-being and where I am. And then when you don't hear from me, you check on me. And are you okay? What if I'm not home when I say I'm going to?
Well, I
be
worry
home?
about the chicken pen because we've had some, close calls out there.
Well, believe it or not, you don't even know some of the close calls I've had out in the chicken pen.
Oh,
And
no,
I didn't have my phone with me, and my hands were tied up in a fence, and I'm trying to rescue a pigeon, and then the rooster is spurring me, and I'm screaming, and the house is so far away that you didn't even hear me. Anyway, we have to keep moving because after
You're going to tell us because it has to do with this. The
what
next
is it?
clip has to do with you and my mom and Buddy Boo. So
Now,
speaking of animals,
okay, and then after this, I have to go put the chickens. I have to be the air.
well, I think this is
conditioning
the
on.
last clip.
It's not. I don't know, but I want to set.
Oh no, we
this
have
up.
5 more.
No,
Sorry,
yeah,
3 more pages to go.
but we.
And what do you mean you have to go?
Yeah,
Okay, get on.
because it's
I don't-
getting to be bedtime
No, it's
for the
barely an
babies.
hour. Let's hear the story.
Okay, of course. Okay, so Debbie loved animals too, and I think I used to send her. Your mom had an iPad. She barely knew how to use it, but she did know how to read her email and see things that, text or whatnot. So I always made sure I sent her lots of funny animal videos from YouTube because she loved animals like I do. But she never had the animals like that, just cats. And so when I had
No cats.
or no cats,
We
all
never
dogs,
owned a
right?
cat.
That's
Dogs.
right. And you're owned by our cat. So, but she would, when she met Nugget, my little chicken, she fell madly in love. And then I found this little goose in a hayfield that had been shaved, and I don't know if it got left behind, but there was this little tiny, I thought it was a duck, goose running around the street. And so I pulled over, picked it up, brought it home, and I said, Daddy, look at what I have. And I thought it was a little duck. And you said, that's a little goose because of the shape of the bill. I said, I don't know. I'm a city girl. I didn't know anything about that. So then that goose became my child. And then Debbie said, what have you got there? And I said, I have a goose. I found it in the street and it was not going to live. So I brought it home and I had it everywhere with me. And that goose grew up in our bedroom, in a
I taught it to
cage.
swim.
You taught it to swim here.
There's footage, I think, on the internet somewhere.
Oh,
of me
there
swimming
is.
with-
Buddy Booth learns how to swim.
There's a shot of him. I would dive and he
Yeah.
would dive with me. And I have
Actually-
underwater shots of
Oh,
him
yes.
diving. It's
That's
pretty
right.
remarkable.
Because we have a saltwater pool. So Debbie was here and she got to really know Buddy Boo, he didn't have a name it was a goose with no name. And so she said, I said, should we have a contest to name the goose? And she said, that would be fun. And I said, we'll do it on social media. So I kind of turned Debbie on to Facebook and Twitter and that stuff because back then it was a fun thing to do. Now it's treacherous, but I don't even go on Twitter, because it's like too much to bear. But then it was innocent and fun. And I still love Facebook and just stay in my own lane there. But she got into it. She really loved the idea of having a Name the Goose contest. So we did it and
Well, here
we
it
had
is.
so much fun. And here it is. And she loved this.
So Debbie, the winning name is Buddy. Buddy Boo.
Oh, Buddy Boo, isn't that a perfect name?
I think so.
Buddy Boo, we love you. Oh,
That was more than a kiss.
he was kissing.
That's right. And then we had 2 other winners, Virginia and All My Lesbians, which I thought was really a clever. Well, no, that's not the name of the goose. That's the name of the group or the Twitter name.
So what were the other names?
No, Buddy Boo is the winner.
Buddy Boo is the
all
winner.
that matters is what's the winner? That's the winner. Buddy Boo.
Yep. And he's getting very big, everybody. And I want to thank you all for entering this contest. Almost got you.
He almost got me.
That's right. I want to thank you for entering this contest. And
No, he wants my
you want your rock, baby.
glasses. He
Yeah.
wants diamonds already.
Well, look at the family he's in there. So he wants the
There you
he wants the good stuff. Look. Oh, his little heart's beating. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. And
Thanks for the Buddy Boo.
thanks for the Buddy Boo. Bye-bye.
Bye, all the lesbians and Buddy Boos.
And Virginia and the winner.
And
Yippee!
I miss him.
Hey, so one of
But
the
your mom looks so beautiful there.
check it out. So we have a part of our show and tell. We always like to give you a little show and tell.
Okay.
There's the ring she was wearing just now in that shot.
That is
This was
my-
given to her,
That's my favorite ring she had. And
It
she
was-
wore it all the time.
and it was given to her by Carrie for her birthday.
Oh, it's so
it's sort of
beautiful.
appropriate
Yeah.
that we get that was her ring.
Yeah.
And she really did. So Carrie gave her that watch also,
Oh.
and she used to wear that occasionally. And then I've told the story before, but I'll show it again. I gave her this little. This is actually a gold frame, and it's got garnets in it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And I gave her that. It was the most expensive thing I'd ever bought at that point in my life.
Yeah, it's
I
beautiful.
love telling a story. I went into Francis Klein on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. My mom used to go in there. And I said, I want to buy a present for my mother. And the guy started showing me things. I was like, whoa, hold everything here. I have, he's like, oh, well, what's your budget? And I was like, I don't know, $100. He's like, oh, well, we don't have anything for $100 in Francis Klein. He said, we got you covered. Like, look, and so I started looking and I saw this frame. I said, oh, she collects frames. I'd love to give her that frame, And he said, and it was because it's gold. It was still like hundreds of dollars.
You had to make payments on
So
that.
that was the great thing. The guy that ran it was like a Sidney Gilleroff guy. Had an ascot, super classy guy. I forgot his name right now, but he goes, oh, it's okay. I give you 12 months to pay for it. Now, I didn't even heard of layaway in those days, but here I am at Francis
Oh,
Klein.
layaway. That was a big thing. I used to buy lots of
Well, I
things
had
like
never
that.
done it, but he goes, but he knew me and he goes, I'll give you 12 months to pay for it. And I paid a lot for it. But I mean, I have to say this was always one of her cherished little things. Part of it's because I gave it to her, I expect. But yeah, it even says 14 karat gold on it. But the garnets, I wish you could see it with the brighter light hitting it. It is really pretty. It's hard to see the ruby red lights. Actually, the way to do
Okay,
that.
now I have to unplug because, and you're going to introduce the next
You
clip.
see the.
But here's
it's still
why.
not showing very well.
Because
Anyway.
I have to go take care of the chickens because it's hot outside. and
Well,
I
what do we
don't-
have left there?
And I'll be right back. And I might have a chicken with me.
Well, let me see what we had because we talked about Buddy Boo. So we're now over and into. Oh, so it's okay. She could leave and I can do the hotel one.
And I'll be right back maybe with a chicken. You just never know.
Okay. So we're going to. I know, but you can't do that. You can do that, but why take it out of here? You're going to step on it. If you step on it, it's expensive. See, no, I just don't want to have to replace it. Okay. So I started off the show doing This Is Your Life. And many years later, we were at the hotel and the show was on in England and they decided to come out and redo the show at the hotel. And I didn't tell my mother anything about it. And her friends came in from far and wide and we used the showroom. In fact, she was doing a regular show and then I interrupted her show at the end and we just jumped off and we had the TV cameras going and the whole thing. And she, we snuck it right past her. And let me tell you, it's not easy to sneak anything past my mom. So having said that, This Is Your Life, Debbie Reynolds, like 95. Rocket.
Today, thank you very much.
Excuse me, Mom.
Sharing your
I'm
time.
sorry to bother you, but
Oh,
I've got somebody who needs to speak with you right away.
okay.
Michael?
Oh, dear.
Debbie, excuse the interruption, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse the interruption, thank you. It works if you point it at the mouth.
And yeah.
My name is Michael Aspel, and I've come from London on behalf of British Television to offer you a tribute and to say tonight, Debbie Reynolds, this is your life.
Yeah. Hello, honey. Hello, dear.
Now, Todd, you showed me your mother's Hollywood collection, and is it true that one day she plans to be a part of it?
Well, yeah, she's asked me several times that she'd like to be stuffed and put in a museum. But I told her that I'd already made a deal with the Victoria and Albert Museum in London.
Well, our gain is your loss. Thank you very much. Now, Debbie, Carrie Fisher.
Mom, I came over to London because I thought they were shooting the This Is Your Life thing over here. Turns out they're shooting it in America, so I'm here for no reason for like weeks now. I'm joking. But as I recall, you were the best mom, I always thought, when I was, 14 and on till now when they ran those best mother tributes, contests, whatever they run when you're little. And I always couldn't imagine having a better mother. You were the prettiest mother. You were the funnest mother, funniest one, the only one that would wear that ridiculous clown costume to the Roxbury Park Halloween thing that we went to. And you looked my age, which was annoying. Still is annoying. But I never thought anyone could have a better mom. So I still think that way, even though I'm stuck in London thinking it alone.
Thank you, Carrie.
Hi, Debbie. I'm your long-legged, tappy-toed friend.
And those legs have brought her here tonight, Ann Miller.
Beautiful. Oh, Scotty, is this a gorgeous figure? Hey. I return the compliment.
And apart from yourself, do you know anyone with more energy?
No, I really don't. I get these little calls sometimes at 2 and 3 in the morning, and she's still going strong. She's just, living it up. And we talk for what, 2 or 3 hours sometimes.
Well, Annie's the only one up.
we just dish and we have a ball.
We dish.
And Michael, I've never had a chance to thank Debbie for something, so I thought this would be the time to do it. Once a year, she has this wonderful charity party. It's fabulous. It's called the Phalians. And Debbie always chooses a star to be her Ms. Wonderful or Mr. Wonderful. I was chosen, I think, 1991 to be her Ms. Wonderful. And I've never thanked you for that. And I really adored every minute of it. I wanted you to know that.
She deserves it. She's so wonderful. Talking about charitable, this is a great girl. I love
Thank
you,
you, Ann.
honey.
Now, MGM sent you on location to Spain, for it started with a kiss in 1959. You'd just been divorced and you were unhappy about leaving the children behind. What is more, the rain in Spain fell mainly on Madrid, which is where you were. For 4 days, you stayed alone in your trailer, and then came a knock at the door.
Hello, darling.
And you opened the door to Eva Gabor.
Hello. I'm so proud of you, Debbie. I just saw everything you've done, and you are something else. Do you remember when we met first? In Madrid. It was raining like mad, and we were locked in our individual trailers and were bored stiff. Till finally, I went out in the rain and I knocked on the door. And I said, Debbie, can I come in? And 8 hours later, we came up to a breath of air and we looked around. And everybody left us. They left us in front of the Four Ring. And then Debbie got us in a taxi. We got back to the hotel. And they were very worried about us. But that's how I learned how to talk this way. And 8 hours later, darling. You know, do you sit with her for 8 hours? I don't sound like this. I haven't got an accent. It's you who's got it. And the point of the matter was that our director never knew. He used to call Ava and Debbie would go, darling, I'm coming right now, sweet. Right there. I love you and I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Ava. Thank you. 40 years ago, you were one of the founding members of an organization which has since benefited hundreds of people.
And for me, the great benefit is that it has made us like sisters.
That's actress Ruta Lee.
Thank you, Michael. The hat is a loving tribute to the Queen Mum. The words are a loving tribute to my other queen, and that's Debbie Reynolds. And 40 years ago, you're right, a group of young, very young Hollywood stars got very tired of being called hard-drinking, pot-smoking, sex-minded twits who had nothing to contribute, and they decided to do something for their fellow man, and the Thalians was born. And they danced, and they sang, and they sold tickets, and they raised money for emotionally disturbed children. Our first president was Hugh O'Brien, followed by wonderful Margaret Whiting, followed by the wonderful guiding light of the whole organization, Debbie Reynolds, then Donald O'Connor, and then one day, Debbie tapped on my shoulder and she said, dear, I think it's time that you did this. That was almost 30 years ago. And we have been either president or chairman of the board of the Thalians for all of those years. We change positions every once in a while. And I am so proud to announce that not only did I gain, through God's blessing, the best human being for a friend in the whole world. She taught me so much about giving and doing. But we have raised, with all of the people on the stage as well who have helped us, over $30 million to benefit emotionally disturbed people, from pediatrics to geriatrics. Isn't that marvelous? And I have one closing remark to make, and that is Debbie Reynolds is, as I said, the most generous person I know. She is Mother Teresa in sequins, and I love her.
Thank you, Ruta Lee. Thank you.
Wow. That goes on for a while. But there's a lot. I mean, you have an hour and 20 minutes. So I remember when we did this, we had, I mean, everybody came. I mean, it wasn't like Margaret, Olivia de Havilland. I mean, like it was Hollywood. Esther Williams was there. I mean, everybody came. And Donald Connor was there. I mean, it was just like a lot of our people I grew up with. And I remember my mom at the end of this thing, she said, oh dear, I wish you hadn't have done that. And I said, well, what do you mean? It was cool, right? She said, well, because we're going to open the museum in a couple of months and I will never get them to all come back. I said, they'll come back. Don't you worry. I'll get Paula's jet. We'll get them here. And they all came back.
Aww.
But she was worried. She thought, oh, no, they're only going to come out for me one time. I think her friends would have come out for her.
Oh, yeah.
For anything. So, speaking of bundle of joy.
Yeah. These are the two that come in with us at night. And this is Jaja. And this is Sonny. You can see Sonny is the tiniest rooster in the world. He's full grown and he's a tiny little thing. And Debbie would have loved these two. Would have loved them.
I'm going to try to get a close up here.
Oh dear.
No,
Here they come.
of the two.
Yeah,
you have the birdies.
To. I mean, they're so, look at this. This is a pocket rooster. He is full grown and he is the size of like a dove. Look at him.
He's going to sleep.
His little, is he? He's going sleepies? There he goes. He's going to go sleeps. And then we've got this Jaja, who's 4 years old this year.
Jaja, darling, how are you, darling?
Yes. And look, she sees herself on camera. She's like, look at me. Are they the cutest things ever? Look at this. He is so exhausted.
He's had a tough day out there trying to jump on these girls.
She didn't want to be in his pen with him today, so he was by himself all day because he can't get along with the other rooster.
Well, of course not.
Yeah.
That's very dangerous.
Oh, you get them.
He woke up.
Oh, did you wake up? Go sleepies. Here, all you have to do is you just do this, and it makes them go right out. See? It's one of they love this where you just kind of take the.
She does that to me too, and I
yeah,
go.
I
Out
do
I
that.
go.
I take his comb and I simply
Out I go.
Yeah, and then this little one. Oh, sorry, I'm squeezing her a little bit too hard. But are they look at this? Now that she is his woman, even though she fights it a little bit, But look at how he is. He hasn't been with her all day, so he's got his head in her chest. Look at that.
He's happy now.
He's happy. Yeah. So, are we done with the clippies?
Well, we can be.
Yeah, because I want to give away something, and the natives are getting restless. No, it's not going to be easy.
Where have you been, dude?
Okay, I'll just let them go play together. There you go, guys. And Seth and I will catch you.
We have one more clip to do after the giveaways. It's kind of like
Okay, so
you're on
let's.
your mom's
What
birthday,
do you mind to go to the giveaway?
No, go ahead. Do it.
Okay. Oh boy.
They can't get too
The
far.
Natives are restless. Look at this. They have taken over the theater. If you give a wide shot, you can't see the floor. What a look at their don't let them out that back door, because if they go in the other theater, it's done. That door right there, the door into the theater, because we will never catch them.
Hurry up.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, you're gonna have to turn on a clip.
Yep. No, we're good. Okay, we're gonna go to the super prize.
Super prize.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot we were
Ryan,
even here with this.
Can I see you? Am I allowed?
There.
Hey! Wednesday, baby.
Stay in this little box. Yeah, I know. I'll be at the show live next week.
I know. Ryan and his parents will be here next weekend.
Uh-huh.
They're coming to town for a big hurrah, and they're staying at Ryan's usual haunt, right? And you're gonna have a ball. And then you'll be here live with your parents next Saturday. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah. Yep.
And you'll get to meet Sonny, the new pocket rooster.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. So we are going
we
to,
go.
if you are new to us, if anyone who donated tonight, and I see a lot of people did, we thank you so very much for that. These are, Ryan, these are last week's donors for tonight's wheel, right?
Correct.
Okay. So if you donated tonight, you will be on next week's super prize wheel. But tonight you will be on the credits. So make sure that you watch those. And we have this randomizer wheel, and where it stops, nobody knows. It's a digitally randomizing wheel. And your name, if you donated last week, your name is on the wheel. Todd is showing you. Come on, Jaja. Come here. So we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel and see what you have won. So go ahead, Ryan. Make it happen. Oh, but we can play Celebration. I love that. Okay, here we go. I hear a beagle. Nicole Talencio, you are a winner. You guys, this is great. Nicole, thank you so much. We so appreciate you. You've been with us for a long time, and you're always so good to us. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and give you a choice between the prize that is shown or a 15-minute. I'm going to have Todd show you that.
All right.
Or a 15-minute Zoom call with us. A lot of people take the Zoom call, and we love doing.
Well,
them.
if you already have something of my mother's that's autographed, then this would be less relevant.
Yes.
But this is a Debbie Reynolds program from the hotel.
That's right. And by the way, if you take this then and not the Zoom call, we don't take
But
that
this-
personally, but
this
that
is-
is autographed. So you might really want to consider that unless you already have an autograph.
And there's, if you haven't seen this book, it's on her career, but it also deals with the hotel days, which we were just showing you. Right on that very stage that you just saw was where we shot the This Is Your Life, was also where she did her live shows. And there's the whole segment on that in the hotel. And there's a picture of my mom and I right there.
Yep.
So it's fun.
So Nicole Talencio, you take your pick and you get all these other things. Wait, show her what she gets.
Well,
with
you get an 8x10.
Yep. You get the sign,
Which is actually, this was the marquee in front of the hotel. And then you get a postcard. Now, this was a performance card from the El Portal Theater, which is kind of a collectible. And then this is the Unsinkable Molly Brown postcard that we had from the hotel days. So pretty good little package. Or you can chat with and talk about this stuff. So
Yeah, but anyway, Nicole, let us know. You can let Ryan know, and he lets us know by writing us at catandtoddlive@gmail.com and let us know what you would like. And we just thank you so much. And I would love to see you. I'm not going to be in West Virginia this year, but I would love to see you, and I hope that I do. And May 1st is coming. Cat and Todd Live experience in Las Vegas is coming up. And I don't know, Ryan, I think the first one's definitely sold out. The second one,
Sold out.
the second one too? Okay.
We're done.
Oh, we're done. Unbelievable.
well, you could get on a standby list, I suspect, right? So in case somebody did drop out, you can get on a standby list.
Yeah.
It's kind of like being on Southwest, though.
No, except we have better seats.
Way better.
That's right. And everybody gets bored at once. So that's what's
Now,
wonderful.
before we sign off completely, I was
Yeah.
going to leave us all with some words from Carrie.
Oh, okay.
So this is, I've taken the chicken camera, but this is a letter that Carrie wrote my mom on her birthday. It says, "For Debbie Reynolds, from Debbie Reynolds' daughter." And then inside is a little thing that says "Mom." And it was given to her, it looks like March. Okay, so it was like the day before her birthday. So here we go. "For my mama, she looks like love feels
Oh.
and like caviar tastes. She's as wonderful as anything you've ever dreamt for. Makes my heart beat as fast as someone that's being chased.
Oh.
This is as good as a poem as I could write for you in for a short gal on short notice. In longhand, your baby, Carrie Francis." So it's a very cute little birthday card from Carrie. So I leave you with those words about our mother.
Oh, hold on, Jaja wants me. I want you to know that when I see those cards that Carrie wrote your mom, it just gets me, Their history was so incredible and up and down, and I'm so happy things worked out the way they did, and they're together forever. So in addition to it almost being Debbie's birthday, it's almost also Easter. And well, Sonny, come up here. Come on, get up here. I've got your girl. You hear him?
Yeah, he's losing out.
He can't bear to be away from her. It's almost Easter, and that's my favorite holiday. And Easter, then Christmas. I love Thanksgiving. Those are my three tops.
She's not close up.
I know. She needs a bath. She's very dull. She needs to be whitened up because her feathers are a little dull. And you too, mister. We love you so much. Thank you so, so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I might be around tomorrow online. Would like to make up for my Friday night show, see how I'm doing, and I'll let you know. Have a fantastic weekend. There's Sonny. He's my rooster, but he's everybody's rooster because he has. Come on, Sonny, let's go. Come on, one step. You can do it. Look at him. He's so darn small. Come on, Sonny, come here. Come on. There he goes. Good boy. Good boy. Come on up here. Come on. Let's go. Can you hear him? He's so cute. Come on. We're gonna all go in the house now and eat dinner and figure it out. The sleeping arrangements have to be made. Yes. Oh, he's so cute. Well, I'm leaving you with a cute little face to look at. And my chickens love you too. On behalf of Ryan Clements, Kyle Hinton, Seth Robichaud, Todd Fisher, and myself, thank you. We so appreciate and love you. God bless you, everybody. Good night. Hickland. Some of you may know me best from One Life to Live, but I also own catcosmetics.com. Only the best cosmetics in the world. I use the Miracle Working Kit on a mother and daughter. It's easy to use, works for all skin types, and comes with a how-to DVD. So if you want to look 10 years younger in less than 5 minutes, or you just want to look more beautiful than you've ever been in your life, come on over to catcosmetics.com and make sure you sign up for special discounts, new products, and inspirations. Gee, but it's good to be here. Frankly, I feel right at home. This is where all the excitement is. This is champagne with all the beers. Gee, but it's good to be here. I really feel it rare form. There's nothing like this, not anywhere. There's a magic that fills the air. I'm so ecstatic. And I could yell, and I could dance about to be emphatic. I could shout it out. It's good to be here. We wouldn't miss this for the world. But it's my considered opinion that the place to be is the place I'm at, and I couldn't be more sincere. Gee, but it's good